Hi everyone, this is Kassie, and these are the weekly tarot horoscopes for the week of August 22 to August 28. If you want to reach me for a more personal consultation, you can find me on my platform www.kassiekai.com, where you will get 3 free minutes with your subscription to use in your first reading, and also more free minutes every month as a gift. If you enjoy my videos, make sure you subscribe, like and share, and also push the notifications bell so that you don't miss anything that comes up. You can find last week's predictions on the link above. Today's deck is the Mystical Moments Tarot in the signature collage style of the artist Catherine Weldstein, and it's an 83 card deck, not the usual 78 cards. That's because it contains extra cards for the kings and for the emperor. Let's see the predictions of next week. For Aries, we had the 6 of Pentacles and now it's the 8 of Swords. The 6 of Pentacles shows that you must have made a deal or you came to a beneficial agreement with someone, and last week must have had some very pleasant moments that made you feel really good. Now the 8 of Swords this week shows an obstacle that you'll have to overcome. Whatever comes up, it's important that you don't blame yourself or another person, as it appears that there's something that's holding you back, and that could be something beyond your control. You will feel that your options are being restricted, and that will cause some frustration and some anxiety. You will come to the realization that there is something that you can control though, and that's you. Within 7 to 8 days, the situation is going to change again, so make sure that you are ready to move when it does. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they feel that your relationship is being blocked for one reason or another. And maybe the obstacles are just in their head, because the 8 of Swords often represents a mental prison where our thoughts dominate our mind in such a way that does not leave room for hope or optimism. So this person is lost in their thoughts, and they are focused on all the negative points they can think of, and that must be quite stressful for them. The 8 of Swords is Jupiter in Gemini, which means that your luck this week will come from communications, from the internet, writing, speaking, social media. Also, there will be positive news when it comes to legal matters and higher education. So if you've been waiting for a legal matter to be resolved, this week you will get good news. Or if you have made an application to a school, this week you may get a letter of acceptance. Remember that Jupiter is an expansive energy, which means it can also expand negative thoughts. Try to remain as open-minded as possible, and you will see opportunities instead of obstacles. The end of the week seems to be the most intense, and maybe around the weekend is when you will feel the energy of this 8 the most. For Taurus, we had the King of Swords and now it's the Moon. Although the King of Swords last week must have gifted you clarity of thought and determination, this week with the Moon something will happen or something will be said, and you will feel confused, vulnerable or full of doubts. Before you let anxiety get the better of you, keep in mind that all is not as it seems. You will feel the fear, but you will have no choice to do it anyway, and it will all turn out well most likely. New and unexpected people and situations will show up, and the best you can do is to welcome them into your life. There might be contrasts and conflicting energies, because the King of Swords is a card of the mind, while the Moon is a sea of strong emotions, and the two don't work well together often. One moment you will find yourself doing what is right and logical, and the next moment you will do something that makes no sense. You should keep in mind that no feeling is final, and if you're feeling confused, that will change soon. The Moon is a volatile energy, and the things and feelings change like the phases of the Moon. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they go up and down with their feelings, and those turbulent emotions are muddying the waters, clouding their view. They find it difficult to see the situation clearly because they have strong feelings for you, but at the same time there are obstacles and limitations that make them feel the situation is really tough or confusing. So expect some mood swings, and maybe one day they will act in a certain way and then the next day they will take a 180 turn. Energies need to settle down first and emotions need to stabilize a little before you are able to have a more solid and more positive interaction with them. Don't make any serious decisions this week, as you will feel that you are standing on shifting sands all the time. Monday is the day associated with the moon, and the beginning of the week in general will be the most intense. As the week progresses, energies will get more stable too, and you will feel more confident as you will make more sense of another person's actions, but also of your feelings too. For Gemini, we had the Queen of Pentacles and now it's the Hanged Man. The Queen of Pentacles is solid, grounding earth energy that must have helped you deal effectively with practical matters, and a person who's an earth sign or ascendant, Virgo, Taurus or Capricorn, must have played an important role in your life last week. This week things are getting more emotional under the watery energy of the Hanged Man, things will slow down and something may go the opposite of what you expected to go. And perhaps you will get frustrated thinking that you are a victim of the circumstances and that events are not going as planned. However, what this card basically shows is a passage from one stage to another, and in times of transition, sometimes things appear to turn upside down and that can be disruptive. But you will be surprised to see that the way you see things is changing too, and a new perspective is arising. A new perspective that will allow you to see with different eyes. So don't be surprised if you start seeing something or someone under a different light, and you may need some time to absorb all those new insights and to adjust. Take as much time as you need, but don't give up. Trust that things will resolve themselves over time, and whatever the outcome, it will ultimately be to your benefit. If you want to know how someone feels about you, there's been a change in their feelings, and you may notice that they're taking distance. They are looking at you differently, and maybe they are even sacrificing what they feel for you for some reason. It's possible they think that a relationship with you would cause instability in their life one way or another. Whatever the reason, at this stage they will remain passive. It's important that you don't press the matter, as that would generate strong resistance on their end. In about 12 days from now, there will be an event that will change your perception about the situation, and you will be able to see aspects of it that were not visible before. So it's advisable that you give it some time before you make any drastic moves or decisions, as the watery energy of this card means that things are still fluid. For Cancer, we had the Page of Swords and now it's the Star. The Page of Swords is a card of communication, messages, so you must have had some interesting communications, some enlightening talks last week, and maybe you got an interesting piece of information that showed you aspects of a situation that were not visible before. The Star you got this week means that you will feel stronger and more optimistic, as something that you want to do or achieve seems within your reach now. You are aware there are stages that you cannot skip, and you know that you have to invest time and energy, but this week you will feel it's worth it. If you or someone around you has been dealing with illness, this week there will be improvement, and generally your luck will improve too, so expect that this week a lucky coincidence will bring you something or someone nice. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, they have idealized you in some way, and they may even think that you are out of their league. For that reason, you may notice that they are keeping distance out of fear of rejection. Or you may be the one who's feeling that way. If you are in a long-distance relationship, or you like someone who's in another city or country, this week there will be plans for you to meet each other, and although the trip will happen in a few months from now, you will start making plans already, and that will bring you closer together. The Star is associated with Aquarius, and Aquarius is future-oriented, so you will be thinking about your future and you will be making plans about your future. Something will happen that will have a karmic tone, an event that cannot be avoided or prevented, but since the star is a positive energy, it feels it will be a positive event. But before that, there will be signs, because the star is a card of guidance, so you will get guidance that could come either from another person or it can be spiritual guidance, so look for signs, as life is always giving messages for you to follow and indications that show whether you are on the right path or not. For Leo, we had the Three of Pentacles and now it's the Two of Swords. Under the energy of the Three of Pentacles that you got last week, you must have worked with someone, literally or metaphorically, to make something grow, a project or a relationship, and there must have been an intention to put effort into something in order to make it solid and long-lasting. Now with the Two of Swords, you'll have to make a decision and you may find yourself being caught up in the middle of a dilemma with no clear outcome. That means you will have to risk something, hoping for the best, but you will later see that by making that particular decision, you will set the wheels in motion in a way that will bring resolution to a conflict. So if things have been difficult in one of your relationships, expect that this week there will be balance again, balance that will be restored, and you will find again your peace of mind. Someone around you may come to you and mediate a conflict between you and another person, so this week there will be a very helpful and supportive energy around you. The Two of Swords is the moon in Gemini, and that will make you more diplomatic, but others around you will be more diplomatic too, especially with how they express their feelings. If you want to know how someone feels about you, it may not be that easy for you to see their true feelings, as they are rather protective of their heart, probably because of past hurts and fears that they will get hurt again. At this stage they feel reluctant to progress and they won't respond well if you attempt to force them. Under the energy of the Two of Swords, you may be unable to see a situation or a person clearly, or you may be in denial about something or someone. You may even be feeling conflicted and confused as messages are not really clear. And for that reason, it's advisable that you wait until the next full moon, which means about a month or so, and around that time, one way or another, this stalemated situation will break. Events that will take place between 23rd September and 2nd October seem to be of particular value or significance, and the people you are currently involved with will somehow play a role then too. For Virgo, we had the Four of Swords and now it's the Judgment. The Four of Swords is a peaceful and relaxing energy, so maybe last week you were on vacations, or you decided to take a break and restore your physical or emotional health, so energies must have been rather slow and you felt that nothing much is happening. However, this week with the Judgment, you will feel that you are waking up from a long slumber and things will start getting interesting. The Judgment is a transition basically, and it's not a sudden change caused by luck or the circumstances, but it's a change that springs from reason and the lessons we've learned in the past. Expect that this week you will be challenged to prove that you've learned one of those lessons, and that means you will probably have to deal with a situation that appears to be a replay of something that happened in the past, and in order to get different or better results, you have to respond in a way that will produce a different outcome. So it's important that you start doing things differently if change is what you are looking for. Under this energy, a plan you've been developing for a long time may come to fruition. If there's a choice that needs to be made, let your mind and your logic guide the decision. And speaking about decisions, you may even have to make a major decision in your life, likely one that will determine and shape the next chapter of your life. If you want to know how someone feels about you, their feelings are getting warmer now, especially if there's been a pause in your relationship, as this card suggests a rebirth. So you may get a second chance with them, just make sure that you don't repeat the mistakes of the past, because if the outcome of your relationship has been bad, if you repeat the same mistakes, this time it will be even worse. So it's crucial that you remain aware of the limitations of a situation and always go for change, Don't do the same thing over and over, as life will put major obstacles in your way until you learn. In around 20 days from now, there will be an event that will open a new door for you, so try to use this time as a time of preparation so that you make a new beginning that will lead to more positive results for you. For Libra, we had the Page of Cups and now it's the King of Wands. An energy change for you this week, Libra. From the cute and romantic Page of Cups, you pass to the strong and fiery energy of the King of Wands. There will be a male in your life, likely a fire sign, Aries, Leo or Sagittarius, and there will be some very positive developments with this person. If this is a professional connection, expect that you will take big steps, that you will make big progress in your career this week, and you will also have a very strong ally by your side. The King of Wands is an authority figure, a leader, that will help you bring a plan into reality. If this is a personal relationship, expect that the person you're involved with will get more active, especially after the passive energy of the Page of Cups, so they may actively start pursuing you, or they will take the next step in your relationship. If you want to know how someone feels, their feelings are warm, sexual, positive, and they feel very connected to you. They are very receptive to your energy, and there will be some very hot moments with them. Kings in general suggest the completion of a stage, so you may start talking about taking your relationship to the next level. You will feel very motivated to act and bring some positive changes this week, so you will find it easier to snap out of difficult and negative situations. This will require quick decision making, so try not to overanalyze things for days on end and accept that you will not find answers to all your questions, especially when it has to do with how another person thinks. For some of you, it will be very difficult to understand why another is acting a certain way, because there's a lot of ego and a lot of stubbornness that hide the real feelings, in case this person is manifesting the negative aspects of this king. One thing to remember is that wands are generally unpredictable, so is the king, so don't be surprised if someone acts in a way that you did not expect, as wands people basically go where their passion draws them and where they find inspiration and creativity, and also where energy and action is. And that happens in the spur of the moment without planning beforehand. The person represented by this king may have a big vision for you and your relationship, whatever type of relationship that might be, and it will be up to you to decide whether you want to follow and invest in his vision or not. For Scorpio, we had the Ten of Wands and now it's the Knight of Swords. You must have experienced stress and pressure last week, and perhaps there were too many demands, too many different energies around you, and things got overwhelming at some point. And maybe you are still feeling that way because the Knight of Swords you got for this week shows you taking fast and for some of you unexpected action. The King of Swords is usually an air sign or ascendant person in your life, Libra, Gemini or Aquarius, a forceful personality, and maybe this is one of those that put pressure on you last week. Since this is often an energy of conflicts, it's possible that if this new person continues to push you, you will react and not in a positive way. There might be an argument, a disagreement with someone this week, where intense feelings will be generated. However, you will find it interesting that this conflict will trigger a sudden change and maybe a departure from your comfort zone that will possibly lead to the end of a challenge. There might be a cost to that, so it won't be completely smooth or painless, but it's a much needed shift that will change the circumstances through honest and open communication. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they really enjoy your conversations, but maybe they even enjoy your arguments. So you may realize that someone is trying to tease you, they are trying to get you to give a reaction to them. And maybe they like it when you get jealous or upset with them, as in that way they get confirmation that you like them. You may start to feel drained or tired by this though, especially if this has been going on for too long. This will be a fast-paced week and there will be a lot of messages, communications, talks, so if communication with another was blocked in the previous days or weeks, now communication channels are opening up again. Just a little caution though, as under the energy of this night you may come off as too aggressive and someone may feel intimidated by your energy. For Sagittarius we had the Hermit and now it's the Ace of Swords. Under the energy of the Hermit, you must have felt the need to withdraw, or someone you care about took distance and appeared cold and aloof. But under the same energy, a solution must have been found, and something suddenly made sense. So you got clarity about something or someone, and the Ace of Swords you got this week confirms that you will know what needs to be done and you will take action with focus and determination. You may decide to cut cords with people in situations that do not give you the type of response you expect, then that will be the wisest thing to do actually, as there seems to be someone in your life that needs to be taught a lesson. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they feel they want to get to know you better, or they want to understand something better in your relationship. They want to cut through confusion, so there may be some contrasts that they need to be resolved, and this ace does foretell that solutions can be found, that differences can be resolved. The Ace of Swords is honest feelings, and as all aces, this too shows potential, especially if you communicate with someone openly, as it appears that how you use your words can make or break a relationship, so try to avoid misunderstandings. If you are kind, true and helpful, you will attract the same kind of energy from another person, but if there are lies and unkindness, you will probably attract more of that. You will also find that someone is open to talk things through. You will be able to express what you think very clearly, so if there's been a misunderstanding, this week you will leave no room for doubts or uncertainty, so that's a very good week to have a talk, and that could be about a relationship or a talk involving professional matters. For example, it could be an interview for a job. All kinds of communication are favored this week. The beginning of the week will hold the strongest energy, so it's Monday and Tuesday that will be the greatest days for messages and talks. For Capricorn we had the Five of Cups and now it's the Hermit. The Five of Cups is a card of loss, and maybe you felt that something was missing from your life or from a personal or professional relationship, and that caused some frustration and some disappointment. Under the energy of the Five of Cups there are always some negative feelings, so maybe you felt sorry for yourself, or you felt that someone was treating you unfairly. For that reason, this week you may decide to withdraw in order to find an answer or a solution. It's possible that you will have to deal with someone who's an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus or Capricorn, although the Hermit is usually a Virgo sign or ascendant person. No matter what happened last week, something that caused you stress or a disruption, this week you will find solutions. Communications may drop a little and someone may get more distant, and even if that makes you wonder what is going on and whether communication and balance will be restored, you will see that distance will do you good. They are not taking distance out of stubbornness or out of spite, but in order to gain more clarity. You will get an answer this week and you will find a solution to a problem. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they feel a little distant, a little aloof. Maybe they are not ready to interact with you just yet or to talk to you. They need some time alone, they need to put their thoughts in order, and they will. In approximately 9 days from now, you will see that they are going to come out of their shell and they will get more communicative and more open to talking to you. But for now, it's best that you don't press things with them. Try not to forcefully instigate communications, especially if you feel that they want some time to think things through. Give them that time and let them come to the realizations they want to get. So this is not a good time to push things in a relationship, either personal or professional. Just give this person some time to put things into perspective. The Hermit is associated with Virgo, like we said, and Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and that's why the important day of this week seems to be Tuesday, the day assigned to Mercury. For Aquarius, we had the Seven of Pentacles, and now it's the Three of Wands. Both the Seven of Pentacles and the Three of Wands have something in common. They both have the element of waiting, but it's a different type of waiting. Something will happen this week that will put things in a new perspective, because the Three of Wands is the card of future and possibilities. This means you will see things with new hope and a new vision. You will feel much more optimistic, expecting something good to happen, and in the next 2 or 3 weeks, you will see clear signs that something positive is about to happen. The difference from the Seven of Pentacles is that with the Seven of Pentacles there is much uncertainty. You don't know whether your efforts will bear fruit, so to speak, but now the Three of Wands shows clearly that you will be able to produce the results that you want. So it will put you in a process of active waiting, let's say, meaning you won't be waiting passively for something to happen. The Three of Wands promises that things will go your way, and if you are in a long-distance relationship and things have been difficult in any way lately, this week there will be improvement, and you might decide to make some plans to take the relationship to the next stage, or maybe there will be plans for a trip to meet each other. The Three of Wands is associated generally with foreign places and people who live in foreign countries, so it's very likely that you will have dealings with people from abroad in personal or professional situations. The Three of Wands is Sun in Aries, and that's a lot of energy. You will feel very energized, and that means there might be overabundance in things that you want to manifest, but it can also mean that there will be a tendency to overdo it. So whether that's a good thing or not, it's up to you to decide, and depends on the situation and the circumstances. But with the Sun in Aries, expect this to be a busy week. Maybe you're coming back from holidays and you have many things to do. You will feel more open to starting new things, to meeting new people, and it's very possible that you will take control, you will take charge of a situation, especially if the person or the people involved in it are hesitant and they are procrastinating. So you are going to take things in your own hands, and the energy of this week is very strong. You will feel very strong, very energized, and therefore you will ask for what you want, for what you deserve. There might be some interesting developments in matters that started between March the 31st and April the 10th. And Tuesday seems to be the strongest day energetically of this week. For Pisces, we had the Knight of Wands, and now it's the Emperor. You got another fire card this week. Both the Knight of Wands and the Emperor are fire cards, which means they represent someone who's a fire sign or fire ascendant, Aries, Sagittarius or Leo. Usually the Emperor is an Aries, and he shows something that reaches a point of maturity. So something that started last week or has been developing over the last few weeks, now it's getting to a point of completion, and that could be either professional or personal, or it could very well mean that someone's feelings are getting more serious. With the Emperor, usually something is getting more official, so a relationship is getting more official, or you will get to the next level in your career, or even an important document will be issued this week. The Emperor is someone who's very protective, so you may have a strong ally by your side. In his negative manifestation, he can be very stubborn, opinionated, or someone who wants things on his terms. If you're dealing with such a person, it's very important that you draw some boundaries and defend your needs, because often under this energy someone may be taking advantage of you and they have control over the situation, and you end up doing only what they want and you put your own needs aside. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they feel attracted to you. Fire cards show strong, warm feelings, attraction. However, maybe the relationship is a little imbalanced. It's possible there's a big difference that's causing this. It could be a cultural or age difference between you, as is often the case with the Emperor, but you shouldn't let this difference define your relationship in a way that's causing disharmony. Try to do things in an orderly manner, as whatever you do this week will require preparation, focus and intention. Stay within the rules, pull yourself together and see things through logic. Don't let emotions run the show. A balance between heart and mind is what you should strive for this week. Something that happened or started around the end of March may reach a culmination now, while Thursday and Tuesday seem to be the strong days of this week. So these were the weekly tarot horoscopes for the week of August 22nd to August 28th. I hope you enjoyed them and I will see you again next week. Have a very nice and productive week.